don't you? Connect the beats. Wait me, don't you? Wait me, don't you? Wait me, don't you?
Cowboys store Marshawn Kneeland, you know what I'm saying? He was found unalive. He was unalived himself early this morning. This is fresh news, you know what I'm saying? His girlfriend made a call. A new lawsuit came in against Spotify by Snoop's cousin RBX, you know what I'm saying? He claiming that Spotify was manipulating streams for Drake. Said that Drake had a bunch of Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube went on stage, I guess at some concert, and spoke on other rappers, you know what I mean? How rappers would come to their shows and point the mic to the crowd. It's rap for show, you know what I'm saying? But I understand from an artist's perspective that that's love, you feel me? When the whole crowd is able to sing your song, that is an exhilarating feeling. It gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Sad, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and that's another thing in this episodes like I did yesterday. We're not gonna have a separate segment for the closing thoughts, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go right into them after each. Yeah. What's going on? What is happening? What's happening? You know what I mean? It is a Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? I am recording late in the day. But that doesn't y'all know, you know what I'm saying, just the amount of things that I be doing throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? This is my first little time where I'm able to sit down and kind of record, you know what I mean? So with that being said, being that it's late, this episode gonna be unedited today, you know what I mean? Ain't gonna be no cuts, ain't gonna be no cut in the audio, no cut on me taking my breaths and breathing control. I usually be cutting all that out in the audio, you know what I mean? But today everything gonna be left. I'm just gonna go straight to where I drop the clip, and I'm moving on, you know, so there ain't gonna be too much no editing to this episode today, you know what I mean? It's episode 327, you know what I'm saying? Without no more further ado, you know what I mean? Let's jump into this episode, you know what I'm saying? I got a few little topics for you today, 3 of them, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely talk about the Dallas Cowboys star Marshawn Kneeland, who was found unalived. We also gonna touch on a new lawsuit going against Spotify in the mentions of Drake. Also, we're going to talk about Ice Cube, how he let his opinion know on what he feel about today's rap, you know what I mean? That's everything we're going to be going over today. I hope y'all enjoyed the last episode, you know what I'm saying, where I let you know about that UPS plane crash that crashed in Louisville. You know what I'm saying? I believe it unalived about 9 people and injured about 11. You know what I'm saying? Also, let you know Ridiculousness was canceled. 46 season. Those were 900 episodes. Ridiculousness came to an end. Also, rapper Young Bleed from No Limit has passed away. He passed away from a brain aneurysm. And I also let you know that the Tank Davis and Jake Paul fight is canceled due to Tank Davis and allegations and lawsuits against him recently. You know what I'm saying? That was last episode 326. You know what I mean? If this your first time here and your first time watching Kons podcast, I don't know why it would be your first time when I am at 327 episodes. You feel me? But if you are late to the party, you know what I'm saying? This is where we go over the news, go over headlines, go over updates. You know what I'm saying? This is where I follow cases. You know what I mean? I've been updating you on that David case. I've been updating you on the Diddy case. I followed all of the Diddy case and all of that. You know what I mean? You're going to get updated on this wicked world following Kons podcast, you know what I'm saying? This is where I keep you updated on all that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever headlines you might have seen, whatever headlines you've seen on your homepage, you know what I'm saying? Yahoo News, Google News, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? I'm probably touching on some of them headlines right here on this podcast, you know what I mean? So keep it locked, tell your friends about it, tell your mama about it, tell your grandma about it, tell your uncle and everybody, you know what I mean? About Kons podcast. Keep you updated on this wicked world, you know what I mean? Without no further ado, though, like I said, this is going to be unedited, you know what I mean? Unedited episode. I ain't cutting nothing out. There ain't going to be no cuts. You know what I'm saying? So let's jump right into it, though, you know what I mean? NFL Dallas Cowboys star Marshawn Kneeland, you know what I'm saying? He was found unalive. He was unalived himself early this morning. This is fresh news, you know what I'm saying? His girlfriend made a call after he had gone missing. Apparently, he has been, he's registered as having a bunch of mental illnesses, you know what I mean? And also have attempted suicide before, you know what I mean? So he was missing. This girl reported him missing. The police came out to see what was going on. They found his car swerved off the side of the road. He had swerved off the side of the road, but there was no driver when they came up to the car. And while they were getting this call on the phone reporting about it, they were getting texts from him telling his family goodbye. You know what I'm saying? They put out a search for him, put out a perimeter and searched the perimeter, and the area ended up finding him in a bathroom stall with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. You know what I mean? The next clips that you gonna see, this is a clip of the audio of the call that came in about the incident, and also you gonna see TMZ and a news segment reporting on this incident. Check these clips out.
She's trying to call his agent, so we're trying to get him to call him first, but she's saying he is armed and has a history of mental illness, and her quote was, "He will end it all."
Good copy. You probably ran back to the car to get the gun. 10-4.
If she calls him, we'll let you know.
Good copy. Alright, y'all do me a favor. Everybody stay with a buddy. Don't go looking alone. This guy is armed.
President, they just received a text from him, a group text from him saying goodbye. They're concerned for his welfare. They do not have a key to the apartment.
David 7, I copy. I advise on this call. We were just out there. There's nobody at the apartment. All contact from by phone.
We have a lieutenant calling in from Plano advising that the NFL is calling Plano PD, and the subject is texting his family.
One of the first ones to share this scanner traffic about what was going on, and I think we're all still just trying to piece together exactly what happened. I know we've got crews out and about working to gather information. What have you guys discovered? How, if you can just tell us what you know and how this has played out.
Yeah, it's just a horribly sad story, obviously. Around 10:40 p.m., 10:39 to be exact, Lauren, Frisco police got a phone call from the Texas Department of Public Safety, essentially asking for help, requesting help with a pursuit that was going on that had entered Frisco. Police momentarily, for a few minutes, lost track of this vehicle that they were trying to pursue. It's not exactly clear why the initial stop was enacted. There are some reports that it was because there was a traffic violation. Anyway, this car that we now obviously believe to be Marshawn Kneeland was in the pursuit, gets away for a few minutes. Cops ultimately find the car a few minutes later, but the vehicle is empty. It had been involved in a crash on the Dallas Parkway. Police then set up a perimeter, and they are trying to find the driver of the car, again, who we ultimately find out was Marshawn Kneeland. They use drones, they use canines, and ultimately, after 2 hours, using a drone that has some sort of heat-seeking technology where they could find the warmth of a body, they located Kneeland deceased in a portable toilet, and it appears it was from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
On that scanner traffic that you guys played on TMZ, and I was talking about with Jeff, you hear them say the NFL has called.
Yeah. I had never heard anything like that before, and it's not exactly clear how the NFL even knew this was going on, but the NFL called, and then one of the dispatchers says, "I'm going to call the Cowboys." So it seems like the team and the league were involved in real time. Now, to what degree, that's not known, but yeah, I had never heard anything like that before, Lauren, that they actually said that, we've got a call on the other line from the NFL, and it's just not clear how they knew. You can just tell, though, even listening to the dispatch audio and what they were being told from the girlfriend and from the family, they were really concerned about his mental state and that he might do something to himself. And sadly, the worst outcome there.
Sports is saddened to find out Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland has died. In a statement from the Dallas Cowboys, they said, quote, "It is with extreme sadness that the Dallas Cowboys share that Marshawn Kneeland tragically passed away this morning. And Marshawn was a beloved teammate, member of our organization. Our thoughts and prayers regarding Marshawn are with his girlfriend Catalina and his family." His agent also released a statement saying, "I watched him fight his way from a hopeful kid at Western Michigan with a dream of being a respected professional for the Dallas Cowboys. Marshawn poured his heart into every snap, every practice, and every moment on the field. To lose someone with his talent, spirit, and goodness is a pain I can hardly put into words." This news comes during the middle of his second NFL season after being drafted out of Western Michigan in the second round. He was only 24 years old. The story is still developing, but rest in peace, Marshawn.
Wait, me
News clips to let you know about Marshawn Kneeland. You know what I mean? I believe he was a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? That's very, very sad. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and that's another thing in this episode. Like I did yesterday, we're not gonna have a separate segment for the closing thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go right into them after each topic. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is definitely something sad to hear. You know what I'm saying? It's always sad to hear a star, somebody who definitely upcoming, who just got his break, just got the rise. I believe he was a rookie or his first or second year or something like that. I'm not sure. I am definitely not a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know too much about how long he was on the team. But it's definitely a sad story to hear this. You know what I mean? Especially when he finally get his big break, he got all that money, got paid doing what he loved to do, which is clearly football. You know what I'm saying? It's just always sad to hear about a unaliving of they self, you know what I mean? Especially due to mental illness. You know what I'm saying? I believe November is Men's Mental Illness Month. You know what I mean? We gotta definitely check up on each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard out here being a man sometimes. A new lawsuit came in against Spotify by Snoop's cousin RBX. You know what I'm saying? He's claiming that Spotify was manipulating streams for Drake. Said that Drake had a bunch of bots streaming them. He submitted to the court saying that he was falsifying streams and saying that he was being botted by fake accounts coming from overseas like Turkey. Said it really ain't. He didn't have no proof. He was saying that there was nothing really coming from that area besides the accounts that was botting up Drake's streams. You know what I'm saying? He said Drake is benefiting from false streams. He said botted streams is running rampant on Spotify, and said that Drake is the one that they are definitely boosting up by fake accounts. Said he's being falsely geo-mapped. Excuse me. Pardon this interrupt, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you ain't hit that subscribe button, go on and hit that shit right now. You know what I mean? At this particular moment and time in the middle of the video, now's your time to hit that subscribe button. You feel me? Hit the like button. Go ahead and comment on what you think or what you might think about something that I'm saying. Comment on it. Feel me? Hit that comment. Hit that comment button. Leave your little comment. I'll definitely see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But hit that subscribe button. No, tell somebody about it. You know what I mean? Hit that subscribe button if you ain't already. You know what I'm saying? What you waiting for? You know what I mean? And tell somebody about this shit so somebody else can watch this shit too. And remember to share this shit also. Put this shit on your social media and all that shit. You know what I mean? Get back to the episode. If there isn't any proof for this to back all the claims that RBX have filed against Spotify about Drake. You know what I'm saying? So these next little clips you won't hear. Jordan Rose from Complex let you know how he feel and break this matter down. And also he feels that this is cap also because there ain't no proof backing up of what RBX is saying. You feel me? Just kind of throwing this out there with nothing to back it up. So in the next little clips you're going to hear Jordan Rose from Complex speak on this. Check it out.
Class action lawsuit filed in the California District Court accuses Spotify of, quote, mass-scale fraudulent streaming and is citing Drake as one of the main artists benefiting from billions of fake streams. Now, I did some digging on this, and this suit sounds like a whole lot of cap, but let me explain why. The lead plaintiff in this case is Snoop Dogg's cousin and fellow rapper RBX. The suit claims that fake streams are rampant on Spotify and that the company turns a blind eye to it, but only cites Drake as an example of an artist benefiting from them at scale. The suit claims that approximately 37 billion of Drake's streams have been fraudulent between 2022 to 2025. Some of the examples include claims that the areas where large portions of Drake's streams were coming from were areas that did not have residential addresses, essentially saying that no one was living in these areas where allegedly mass amounts of streams were coming from. Other claims were that streams were being falsely geo-mapped to areas in the United Kingdom when they were actually coming from Turkey. This is all being classified as abnormal VPN usage in the suit. The suit also claims that, quote, the number of streams of Drake's music attributed to individual accounts is staggering and irregular, and that there would be uptick months where streams would spike and then, quote, decay months where they would drop drastically. The lawsuit is asking for $5 million in damages and for Spotify to identify alleged victims and have them compensated appropriately. Now, here's why I think this sounds like a lot of cap. First, RBX and his lawyers are making these accusations without any real proof to back their claims. Throughout the lawsuit, there is no evidence provided on where they got these botted streaming numbers from, how they discovered the abnormal VPN usage, or any of the other data they use. Second, the main complaint seems to be more about how these fake streams come at the expense of smaller artists. The way Spotify's stream share model works, subscription and ad dollars are put together into a giant pool and then divided up among artists based on their total number of streams. So if Drake is benefiting from botted streaming numbers, then his share is larger than smaller artists. RBX is a smaller artist who started the relaunch of his career in 2022. So it's super convenient that these botted streaming numbers allegedly started to pick up for Drake that same year. So Spotify is the real target of this lawsuit, but let me know what you think of these new accusations in the comments down below. Alright, for Complex, I'm Jordan Rose. Peace.
Hate me,
Saying
don't you?
in that clip, you know what I mean? That was Jordan Rose letting you know that he is putting this to the court, but ain't got nothing to prove it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing to prove it. He's saying that, oh, they coming from overseas, they coming from Turkey, you know what I'm saying? And it's harder for smaller artists, whoop-de-whoop. I guess RBX, you definitely consider him a smaller artist than Drake. You know what I'm saying? For sure, you know what I mean? But now, there ain't no proof that you are submitting as far as saying that he was botting streams and had botted streams and was falsifying streams and all that. You know what I'm saying? There's really no proof of such, you feel me, that he could present to the court or even present it to the court. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I mean, I don't know how that's gonna fly. You just throwing it out there, you know what I mean? You looking and sounding real bitter at this point. You know what I mean? You definitely sounding like you are a bitter artist and sound like you lightweight hating on Drake at this point, because you ain't putting no evidence forth to back none of the claims up as to what you are claiming about Drake and these streams. You know what I'm saying? It really ain't nothing backing that up. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's gonna fly here in no court. You know what I mean? But shout out to RBX though. We ain't really heard his name in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to RBX. Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube went on stage, I guess at some concert, and spoke on other rappers. You know what I mean? How rappers would come to their shows and point the mic to the crowd and tell the crowd to sing all of the lyrics. You know what I mean? He said that was some bullshit. You get your hair done, pay all that money for the ticket, pay for partying, you know what I'm saying? Get your best fit on, and then you come and you gotta rap the lyrics for the artist. He said, I came to hear you rap. You know what I'm saying? So Ice Cube was on stage letting his opinion fly about what he felt about the rappers that come on stage and just hand the mic to the crowd and let them sing the whole song for him. You know what I'm saying? So this is in this next little clip, you're gonna see Ice Cube speak on this and how he hates how performers come and do that. Check it out.
Don't you?
Spend all your money for the fucking tickets. Pay for parking. You done got your hair did. You done got an outfit and shit. And you gotta come to the show and sing all the fucking words, man. Come on, man. Damn. I hate performers half the show they like this.
Oh, I hate that. Oh my God.
Some bullshit, man. I came to hear you rap, motherfucker. I'm doing half the song. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? That was Ice Cube letting you know on stage how he felt about the rappers who come and just point the mic to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's wild. I mean, you know what I mean? I feel where he's coming from, you know what I'm saying? We definitely put our best fit on and come out and pay for parking and pay for tickets and all that. Definitely come to hear the artist rap for sure, you know what I'm saying? But I understand from an artist's perspective that that's love, you feel me? When the whole crowd is able to sing your song, that is an exhilarating feeling. It gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Whether, you know what I'm saying, of course, you know, Ice Cube is voicing his opinion on how he feel about it, you know what I mean? But I can feel both sides though, you know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely love, you know what I mean? That is something, that is a feeling that if you chasing any type of success based off the masses of the people, you know what I'm saying, then you definitely want hundreds of thousands of people knowing what you do, quoting your sayings, quoting your lyrics, quoting your song, whatever the case may be. That is an exhilarating feeling, you know what I mean, to have a whole crowd chant your song, you know what I'm saying, lyric for lyric for lyric, you know what I mean. That is definitely some feeling that a lot of artists won't, you know what I mean. Some artists don't even get to feel that, they don't even make it that big, you know what I'm saying. But that's definitely something I feel that every artist is chasing, you know what I'm saying, regardless of what he said about it, you know what I mean. But I feel both sides though. I mean, you do get all dressed up, spend all that money, you know what I'm saying, definitely to hear the artist rap, you know what I'm saying, not to come and rap the whole song for the artist, you know what I mean. Even though as an artist, as a perspective of an artist, that is love. That is, like I said, that is an exhilarating feeling. You know what I'm saying? To have 200,000 people knowing your creative stuff. You know what I mean? That's definitely something dope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I mean? That's all I got for today. Just these three little topics, you know what I'm saying? Episode 327, you know what I mean? In case you may have gotten busy. Maybe you was too busy breaking down the tree. Maybe you was rubbing up. Maybe you was pulling up. Maybe you got a little too perved off the liquor that you pulled. Maybe you had to go break up a fight. Maybe the kids was arguing in the background. You had to go tend to them. In case you missed what we just went over, though. I just let you know that Cowboy star Marshawn Kneeland was found unalive today. You know what I'm saying? He was missing, reported missing, and when they went to find him, they found his car and then found his body later on in the bathroom stall with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Also let you know that a lawsuit came out by RBX, which is Snoop Dogg's cousin, saying that Drake is falsifying a bunch of streams on Spotify, you know what I mean? But he had no evidence to submit to the court to back up none of the claims that he was saying. Also, let you know that Ice Cube spoke on how he felt about rappers that come on stage and just point the mic towards the crowd and have the crowd quote all their lyrics and know all their songs. He said it's a bunch of bullshit, and he came to hear the artist rap, not us rap the song, as we paid tickets, prices, and parking prices and got our best fits on and so on to come to the show. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's everything we went over today. You know what I mean? I also put you on some of my closing and final thoughts after each topic. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to stick to that little format instead of having a separate format at the end of the episode where I go into my closing thoughts. I'm just going to go into them right after the topic. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, you know what I'm saying? It's been episode 327. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have been doing anything you wanted to do, no matter who you was. You know what I mean? Whether you was a little brother, little sister, or older sister, or older brother, whether you was a grandma, a grandpa, auntie, or uncle, you know what I'm saying? You could have been cousin Nunu, cousin Pete, cousin Man, cousin PP, cousin P2, whoever you was, you know what I'm saying? If y'all got pets, then your pet is a cat. Whether you have a pet dog, you have a pet cat, a pet bird, you have a pet parrot, a pet hedgehog, you have a pet alligator, you have a pet giraffe, you have a pet T-Rex, you feel me? You have a dinosaur, you know what I'm saying? If they watch a Kons podcast, I definitely salute to them. Like you see the homie scrolling up the screen, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it go. You feel me? But yeah, the beat you hear creeping up was definitely made by none other than Infectious. You know what I'm saying? A beat collector beats. You feel me? West Coast Killer beat. You know what I'm saying? So listen to this beat creeping up in the background, coming up in your ear while these credits roll in your optical. You know what I'm saying? Let Infectious talk to your eardrums with this slapping beat. You feel me? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next episode. Like I said, this episode gonna be unedited. No cuts. You know what I mean? But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next episode.
fuck the fuck up.
You hate me, don't you?
You understand that?